Ladies and gentlemen, now in today's video, we're going to be breaking down the 2-week drama-filled whale war known as the gifting event. And this year's gifting event, where the drama was especially spicy between the top two. Now, the top two alliances, per the results yesterday, were MMX, got the number one, much to everybody's surprise, and number two was Asgard. Now, there's a lot of controversy and a lot of drama between these two alliances, and I want to break it down and talk about the a sequence of events, but to kind of highlight why the number one spot was so damn important for this one is the number one spot was the ability to select 50% of an individual tier 5 class catalyst. So this reward is absolutely huge. It means everybody can go for mutant and thus get sunspot and thus dominate prestige for probably the next year in the game. It is absolutely phenomenal, the power of this number one reward. So that's why so many people, you know, lost their friggin' marbles over this thing. Now, to start our story, we need to go back to the 20th of December, and this is where some really weird stuff started happening in MMX. If you looked at the alliance, every hour or so there would be like a brand new mid-range account, you know, very below the minimum requirements for MMX, and these accounts were just constantly being rotated in and out of the alliance. And the speculation is that these accounts were either arena bot accounts, so constantly throughout the year they were still farming units and then just gifting items to various members, thus increasing the gifting score, or they were kind of very cheap throwaway accounts that people have brought to load up fraudulent units and then dish out to various members of MMX, get the gifting score up, and then ditch those accounts forever so that they wouldn't be caught and backtracked to. So that is the speculation with what happened in MMX. And from the individual gifting scores, which we can look at just in a moment as well, I'd say that this is probably 100% the reason that MMX won this event, because they have very few members in the top 100, and judging by some of the brief calculations that I've done, there is pretty much no way that 30 MMX members in the alliance right now got the score that they did and actually beat Asgard looking at the leaderboard. So it's very likely, looking at this, that they won due to these accounts being rotated into the alliance, dumping a load of units on the alliance members and then rotating them out. Again, as to exactly how these accounts got the units, whether it was botting or stolen credit cards or some sort of currency manipulation, that remains to be seen. Like, we don't know the answer to that at all, but it's very shady, man. Like, MMX have not come out of this whole situation looking good at all, and I don't see how they legitimately got their score. Now, back to Asgard. So, a few days ago, just before the results of the gifting event, Asgard decided to kick 18 of their members. Now, this was a joint decision with the whole alliance because somebody in Asgard was apparently getting paid off by somebody in MMX to leak the gifting scores, because constantly, every couple of days, the gifting score from Asgard was going around the line chats, so they wanted to plug the leak until the final hour of this event and then invite everybody back, because as long as you're in the alliance at the end of the gifting event, you still get all of the rewards there. So that's the reason they removed 18 people, but also at the same time, I think Asgard didn't really help their situation. They could have very clearly explained what they were doing, but they kind of just remained like silent. It was fairly obvious, I think, from the outside, if you kind of knew what was going on with all the screenshot leaks and that stuff. But I think Asgard, there were just a few members that just came across like so boastful and so arrogant in this event, like, we're gonna win this event, like, we're gonna be number one, we're gonna get the rewards, and at the end of the day, it's just an event that's like spending money, and you're just getting carried, if you're an Asgard, by like Crystal Opening Whale, Pep, and Octo Monkey. So to not be one of those three and kind of like brag and just be like, you know, come across as really like arrogant and like we're better than everybody else, just didn't really like make anybody like Asgard. So I think just a lot of people wanted Asgard to lose just purely for that reason. And, you know, after kicking like 18 members and not explaining it, being like Gifting Kings 2019, and then when the result comes out and then they're not the Gifting Kings 2019, just I think a lot of the community had a very fun time with that yesterday, man. That was a really enjoyable time. I think one of my favorite things that I saw yesterday was the meme of the Crystal Opening Whale that somebody tweeted me. I'm just going to share this now, but this gave me a proper good chuckle yesterday.
who's coming in second?
Oh man, it's just it's absolutely savage. Now, after running the numbers this morning, I was a little bit baffled by MMX's alliance score versus their solo scores as well. So we're going to have a bit of a chat about that. But again, they got the #1 position. The score was 17 million, and the estimated amount spent to get that many points is just over 207,000 US dollars. Absolutely huge there. But you can see they actually weren't that far ahead of Asgard. So it's almost 100% certain in that last hour where Asgard invited everybody back to get the rank rewards that somebody leaked the score again immediately so that MMX could just surpass them. And that is mental, boys. That person, I imagine, was at least getting paid like 5 grand, I would assume. I don't know, like, any Asgard level player that would do that for like a few £100. They must have been getting paid off big time by MMX to get that. So it seems crazy that this amount of shade and this amount of conspiracy have gone on in this year's gifting event. Like, people friggin' losing their minds over that #1 spot. So again, second were Asgard with just under 17 million points and $202,000 estimated spent there. Then after that, #3, we got a Chinese alliance who spent just under 150,000 US dollars estimated. And then we got NYC Guardians, who in total spent just under 140,000 US dollars. #5 was 112,000 US dollars. #6 goes down quite rapidly there, just over 77,000 from We Are the Team. #7 was another Chinese alliance with just over 60,000 US dollars spent. ASR just spent over 55,000 US dollars. 4th place spent $51,000. A Mega Fight or Flight spent just over 40,000 US dollars. So the total from 300 players in the top 10 alliance this gifting event was almost 1.1 million generated in terms of gifting event revenue alone, which is just so crazy, man. People friggin' lose their minds over this event. But then if we have a look at the top 10 solo scores, it really doesn't add up for MMX. And if we bring up the leaderboard, which we will after this, so these are the top 10 results. Crystal Opening Whale just dominated everyone, man. So he got a score of just over 14 million, and the estimated amount spent was about 70,000 US dollars on the gifting event. The dude went absolutely ham and definitely paid a few Kabam employees' salaries. #2 was Tiger Woof from a Chinese ally who spent just over 52,000 US dollars. And then in #3 spot, we've got Octo Monkey from Asgard. So again, another like really big whale in Asgard, spent just over 31,000 US dollars. So between Cow Whale and Octo Monkey, they've pretty much got half the score of Asgard there. Then at #4, we had Aquarium UA, a fairly unknown player, at least to the best of my knowledge, spent just over 27,000. But from what I can see of Aquarium, the account does look legit there. MTC spent just under 25,000 there. This one is really suspect though at #6. I'm 100% sure this is some sort of either bot account or credit card fraud account or just some sort of like shady account, man, because this is RTNVS1959. There's no alliance, just under 24,000 US dollars spent. That is a ridiculous amount. However, if we bring up this account in game, again, there's no alliance, and for almost 24,000 US dollars run through this account, there's not a single 5 or 6 star champion. So this account very clearly has not been receiving any gifts at all and just dishing them out, because if this account had been receiving greater gifting crystals and making equal trades, all of the top champions would easily be 6-star champions with the drop rates on them, man. So you can have like the worst stack of $1,000 worth of greater gifting crystals and probably still get a 6-star champion. This man should probably have about like 24 6-star champions for that amount spent. So that seems like so suspect to me. And obviously this account and a few others in the leaderboard as well have bumped down legitimate players and legitimate spenders that have invested their money into this event only to get dicked over by a position or two on the leaderboard. So that is very suspect as well. Knight from MMX seems to be potentially a legitimate spender at number 7. Again, they do have whales in that alliance that are legitimate players as well. So Knight spent just under 23,000 US dollars. We've also got your boy Pep from Asgard at number 8, spent just over 20,000 there. Wow Lemons, I think from NY, I forgot the alliance there, but just under 20,000 US dollars. And also Mr. Tiger Balm from one of the Chinese alliances, just under 20,000 as well. So you can see in these top 10, man, there's only one player from MMX, and that is an estimated 23,000 if that's spent. But let's have a look at the solo leaderboard, because you'd think if they were going to be number 1 overall, man, they would absolutely be swarming the rest of the leaderboard. But there just aren't that many players that even appear in the top 100. So at least to me, because I've got my score as well for just over about 3,000 US dollars spent, just to share it with you, I came 126 overall, which is perfect for me. I wasn't aiming to go like crazy hard in this event. Top 300 was the goal, and we made that by a country mile, so I'm very happy with that. But scrolling down, we can see some more Asgard, some ASR, a lot of NY as well, but no MMX at all. Like going down, we see GM from MMX there. We got Vega, Ductman as well, so we got 3 there. But another Asgard CP, the Allfather as well popping up. MMX, Hueg there. And then scrolling down a little bit more, there doesn't appear to be any more MMX. We've got a little bit more Asgard, but this should be absolutely swarming with MMX. But we've seen, I think, about 5-6 players now. More Asgard. There's been a lot more Asgard going down as well. So I don't think we see any more MMX at all. And like going down, man, we're probably in the region like outside of the top 30. That's easily below like 10,000 US dollars spent, and below 126 is like under like 3,000 US dollars spent as well. So there's just not the people between my position and the number 1 position to in any way get up to that 200,000 figure in MMX. It just doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. If you were to calculate and give your best guess to what the scores would be and the estimated value for all the MMX people in the leaderboard, it would maybe at a push be about like 70,000 US dollars. But there's also like that 130,000 that just it isn't there, man. It isn't there. So it's very suspect. At the end of the day, MMX, I think, have done some shady stuff to get to that number 1 spot, man. It doesn't look like they've played this event legit. It looks like they've brought some shady units or utilized arena bots very heavily in order to push Asgard off there. Not to mention paying off some sort of insider in Asgard as well. So Asgard, I think, are probably the rightful number 1 alliance when it comes to this event. Just from what I can see, as much as I dislike the attitude that they put forward when it comes to this event and just being, you know, a bit boastful, a little bit arrogant seemingly, I think they do deserve that number 1 spot. And I think MMX do deserve to get looked into in regards to what they've done in this event as well. This year's gifting event is just a colossal mess because their awards, again, have already gone out. The champions have been ranked up. So to rectify this is going to be all sorts of headache for Kabam if they want to. So I think there's maybe a 50-50 chance of them addressing this and maybe demoting MMX and kind of removing their awards. But I think there's also a very likely chance that they're just going to keep all of the money that they got via all these various sources in the gifting event and be like, you know, we never mentioned all of the specific rules, like new people can join your alliance and send gifts and it's still fine in the event or whatever. But I don't think there's like any doubt, at least in my mind, that some really shady stuff has gone down in MMX. And the Asgard are, regardless of anybody's personal opinion on them, I think they've spent the most money and they are the rightful winners of this event. That's just a bottom line fact. And the thing is, if you push away the legitimate whales in a free-to-play game and they feel like they can't trust the game and they can't trust the company when they are throwing down tens of thousands of dollars on a 2-week event, then that is a big problem business-wise for your legitimate spenders. And as much as you may dislike whales and big spenders, the fact of the matter is, Free-to-play games are an ongoing service of having a massive team of people employed to continually update the game. And that team of people, artists, game designers, character designers, technicians, people that do the server maintenance, they need paying. And the game needs to turn over a huge amount of money, or there is no game, there are no updates. So whether you like it or not, Kabam need to prove that they can be trusted in the eyes of the whales, or if not, then the whales are going to go away, and then we've got a dead game. So just throwing it out there, man, I think it is something that Kabam do need to address. But gifting event is just always a massive shite show, lads. It is just a massive clown fiesta, EP war. Like, everybody's waving about their prestige left, right, and center, trying to see who can drop the most cash on this game. And every year, it's just a whole new level of ridiculous. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts on this year's gifting event. What do you think of MMX? What do you think of Asgard? Let me know in the comments section below. And yeah, aside from that, thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy today's breakdown, please do smash that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.